Hello there. This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions for the Power Project. Got a question today from William Cowan, and William wants to know how I do my Circa Max phases. Well, I have simplified the Circa Max phase to the point of when the meet gets closer, I go heavier. That's pretty much how I do my Circa Max. I like to implement reverse bands, straight weight, and also some sort of heavy overload, and that's done over the course of about 5 weeks. There's really no science to it for me. I just kind of basically go by how I feel, and I try to see what I think I need. And so sometimes I'll do a heavy overload. Could be a chain gang squat. Chain gang squat is to use as many chains as I possibly have in my gym, which is about 20. It's about 400 pounds of chains. I'll use nearly every chain I have, and load the bar up until I can't handle any more weight, basically, and do a full squat with my straps up and everything. Let's see. The other type of squat I do is a band squat. I'll squat against as many bands as I can handle. A lot of times it's 2 blue bands around a tensor that we have that amplifies the width of the band at the bottom and makes the tension that much greater. So it's 500-600 pounds of band tension, and it's pretty brutal. Again, that's done in full gear, fully suited up, sometimes even with the knee wraps on. And then my other type of Circa Max squat that I like to do, or it's really just, I guess you'd just call it a max effort squat. Simplify it even more, it's really just a max effort movement. That's kind of what the Circa Max really is. And then so I'll do a reverse band. Again, that's fully geared up. The reason why I like to go fully geared up, I have a very hard time. I cannot do a traditional Circa Max phase. I've never had success with it. Well, I shouldn't say never had success with it, but I only had success with it a long time ago, early on in my training, years and years ago. One of the issues for me is I can't squat very well with my briefs on and my suit bottom down. So it's almost like you're wearing double briefs or whatever. And then I also never saw the point in that too, because you never really have that feel in the meet. You always have the straps up, and you always kind of have that harness effect of the straps. I've seen too many guys go to meets and squat, these great box squats and do all these great things in the gym, and then they put their straps up and they fall apart. And when you put your straps up, you should be gaining strength, not losing it, that's for sure. So the West Side, the way they do it at West Side Barbell, is there's a bunch of different ways that guys are doing it, but like Dave Hoff, for example, Dave Hoff will use more like indicators rather than regular Circa Max phase, but his Circa Max phase involves more straight weight. And so he'll implement a straight weight squat down into some chains, and that's kind of his Circa Max. So he'll do his normal speed work like he always does for weeks on end, and then as the meet gets closer and closer, he'll start to do a Circa Max, or basically, to even simplify it more, move his max effort work over to the weekend and lighten up the loads during the week. I don't know what other exercise he really uses. I know that he does some heavy band tension here and there, but it's not really, as far as I can remember in my talks with him, it's not really part of his Circa Max training. You can look up some of Dave Hoff's training information in the issue of Power Magazine, where he's on the cover, and I interviewed him. He went on in length about how he trains, and he has a 1,200 pound squat. Now, for like AJ Roberts, he does a little bit more traditional Circa Max, and AJ said that he's always had success with it, and that he really likes it. And AJ does it in about a 3 or 4 week time frame. Week 1 is heavy band tension for a max single off a box. Week 2 is heavy band tension, 4 sets of doubles, I believe. And then week 3 is kind of like, I think AJ actually skipped week 3, didn't do anything, and then went into the meet and did a 1,200 pound squat. So he had that delayed transformation, as Louis likes to talk about. where he basically super compensated from all the heavy training, and then the rest period, went to the meet, he was that much stronger. See, what else did he tell me about those squats? He really said, the main focus is week 1 in hitting that real heavy single and trying to get a PR. For each individual, the band tension obviously is going to be quite a bit different, but I would say if you're a newer lifter, just go with something that feels hard. You don't need to go get into any sort of crazy band tension. If you're only squatting between 500 and 700 pounds, a blue band would probably be good, or a blue band and a purple band, or something to that effect. Strong band and a light band, something along those lines would probably be sufficient enough for you. Other guys at Westside, they do heavy max week 1, heavy double week 2, and week 3 is just like 5 sets of doubles with like a green band, which is very easy for them to do. They're all done off of a box to about parallel. They're all done off of a box. They're all done in briefs and the suit with the straps down. I don't believe anybody wears knee wraps. So there you have a bunch of different ways to do your Circa Max phase. I would also say this. If you're making progress with some of the things you're currently doing, then do not change them. I myself am my own worst enemy when it comes to this, and I think it's important to, if there's changes and you're making PRs, then there's no reason to change your program. Leave it the way it is and continue to make progress. I also found in my own training that by implementing a Circa Max, like a true Circa Max the way they do at Westside, it was just too awkward for me. And so you're going to have to find what works for you. And that's how I kind of stumbled upon doing some of this other stuff. I also like to do a lot of the Thompson Squats, Donnie Thompson Squats. Donnie Thompson Squats are, he does 5 sets of doubles, 5 sets of 2 reps with any barbell. Could be straight bar, safety bar, whatever. Usually you have some sort of band or chain on there, not always though. And you basically just add weight per set. You do 5 sets of 2, add about 20 pounds per set until all 5 sets are completed. And then you work up and do a couple heavy singles. How do you determine where you start your 5 sets of 2? Kind of hard. I would say 60 to 70% is where you want to start. The first set should be hard, but it shouldn't be like you're going to die. And you're going to add about 20 pounds to each set, depending on strength levels. If you're not very strong, then maybe you only want to add about 10 pounds. But we normally here at Super Training, we normally add about 1 chain per set, or we just add a 10 per side, so that's 20 pounds. I think I'm all Circa maxed out. You should be too. It can be effective, but you're going to have to learn on your own, learn for yourself what's going to work best for you. Lastly, but not least, if you have trouble getting depth in the meet, if you're not used to your squat suit, then wear your squat suit with the straps up. So, if you're not used to it and you're uncomfortable and you squat 600 with the straps down, you squat 650 with the straps up, then get used to those straps, because if you're squatting 600 with the straps down, you should be squatting well over 700 without any questions with the straps up. That's the name of the game. That's what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to get as much out of the gear as you possibly can. I know the raw guys are hating on that, and they can't stand to hear that. But that is the truth. And that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.